Good morning, Saturday, March 2nd, 2013. These are my NCAA basketball plays for the action on Saturday. First, I want to quickly recap last night's disaster. Top play on the board, Toronto ended up losing by 9 to the Pacers in the end. The game was essentially over, it appeared, at the half when they were only able to put up 34 first half points at home. It's just rather disgusting. I was very disappointed in the effort from the Raptors last night. Did manage to hit the Utah Jazz play as they took the court with like 5 dudes from the parking lot. Shit kicked the Bobcats by 30 points. Who would have thunk it? Everything else lost in a 1-4 night, so it was rather disappointing. I'm going to have to get my shit together quickly, as I hope the rest of March isn't like yesterday. It will be an ugly month. I've got 3 best bets on the card for today. And looking at the 3 best bets, it took me a few minutes to actually settle on a top play of the day, and I settled on Butler +7 at VCU. Looking at 2 similar teams, both play well-disciplined. They're well-coached by 2 of the youngest, brightest, up-and-coming coaches out there in Stevens and Smart. I'm going to go ahead and feel that Butler will be very competitive in this game. I'm expecting a game in the 50s to low 60s by the time it's settled, and I just think these 7 points will be golden in a game that should be fiercely competitive as these 2 teams battle for the top spot in the A-10. Butler has had some road problems, but which team in the college ranks haven't had road problems this year? I think they're capable. VCU is a solid squad. I just see Butler hanging in this number. Butler +7 will be the top play on the board for college basketball today. The other 2 best bets, I'm essentially playing against teams that are just going down the toilet. First, Evansville -5 as they host Indiana State. The Sycamores have just totally lost it. They lost a home game to Drake, a game they really couldn't afford to lose. Now they go back out, play an Evansville team that has shown the ability to pick teams apart, especially at home. So the Purple Aces will be my second best bet. Finally, I almost couldn't believe I was making this pick, but I put the bet down. I'm taking Texas Tech -5 as they host TCU. TCU is an abomination to college basketball. I mean, really, this team has set college basketball back about 50 years with their poor play and inability to put points on the board this season. Other than that win against Kansas, this team's done dick. I mean, they're really a poor basketball team. Texas Tech, you're looking at a team that's not very good, but at home, they're looking for a chance to beat anybody. And what do you know? Here comes TCU. Texas Tech is the 3rd best bet. I'm just going to quickly touch on the other 8 plays on my card. I'm just going to roll right down this list. I have Delaware -1.5 as they host a struggling George Mason team. Syracuse -2. I'm taking the Qs as they host Louisville. It's a double situation. Syracuse is at home, and Syracuse is the lower ranked of 2 ranked teams in a matchup. Always been a good angle for me. For over 10, 15 years I've played this angle, and it's been solid. So we'll keep going with it. Syracuse -2. Temple -12.5. We're picking on Rhode Island in this one. They're bad. Temple came back, didn't cover as my top play on the board a couple nights ago, but they did rally hard, showed some spirit in the second half, and coming back in a win against Detroit. Bradley +2.5 on the road at Missouri State. For the life of me, I struggle to see why Missouri State would be favored in any game right now. They're really playing poorly. Detroit -5.5. I'm going to take the home team, Illinois Chicago, +5.5. Think Detroit might still have some lingering effects from that loss at Temple. Now they hit the road again. I'm expecting them to come out a little stagnant as they came out hot as shit against Temple. I don't see that today. I see them struggling. I see a low-scoring game. Illinois, Chicago at home +5.5. Arkansas -3 as they host Kentucky. Arkansas obviously can play a solid game at home as they demolished Florida a few weeks ago. Kentucky up and down. They've had a couple wins under their belt now, but here they hit a team that's actually playing decent. Arkansas -3. The game of the night and the one everyone's looking forward to is Miami traveling to Duke. Duke sitting there waiting, coming off another road loss 7.5 is just too many points. I'm going to play Miami plus the 7.5 in this spot. Again, it's a matchup of two ranked teams. I'm going to play the lower of the two ranked teams, which is Miami, getting 7.5. They haven't played well lately. They did get a nice, comfortable win against Virginia Tech. But if you look back to their last road efforts, they only put up 43 points at 45 points in a 45-43 win at Clemson. Just the ugliest game you'll ever want to see. I just feel Duke might get control on the inside. Their inside game is so poor right now. Miami has a lot of meat. They have this guy Johnson that looks like he looks like a building with legs. I mean, the guy just takes up the entire lane. I'm going to think Duke somehow pulls this game out just on pride alone, but this 7.5 points is almost ridiculous. Duke may cover, but I'm going to play the other side. I'll take Miami, take my chances. Finally, Virginia Tech again, -1. They're hosting Clemson today, a team that has just hit the skids. They got pounded at home by North Carolina. They've lost close games. They've lost blowouts. They just lose. Virginia Tech, a team that struggles to score, is the definition of this team this year. They're not very well coached. I'm just looking at them being at home and a chance to win any game. I'm going to take Virginia Tech -1. Quickly, we're going to recap the entire slate of games for today. The top play on the board, I'm going with Butler +7 at VCU. The other two best bets, I'm going to play Evansville -5, Texas Tech -5. The rest of my card for Saturday, Delaware -1.5, Syracuse -2, Temple -12.5, Bradley +2.5, Illinois Chicago +5.5, Arkansas -3, Miami +7.5, and Virginia Tech -1. And to everybody out there, best of luck with all your plays today. May all your parlays hit, and may all the buzzer beaters be winning ones. We'll talk to you tomorrow.